Hello everyone. In this video we're going to cover how to edit your well log display panels. Let's get started. So you can edit your well log display panel in any of the modules. Right now we're working in our display plot, and there's two ways you can go about setting up your display. First, you can come over here into the top right corner and you see this settings icon. If you click that, it will expand out the graphical interface for editing the well logs. And you can expand this out on a track-by-track basis. So here we have the track for the gamma ray caliper. You can see when I have it open, it's highlighted here. And if I want to edit the gamma ray curve, I can come in here. I can, set the width of this track. I can also come in and set the values, modify those if I want to, and do things like change the curve color. If I want to remove a curve, all I have to do is click the X, and if I want to add a new curve, I can just come through and I can add the curve by its name. Then I give it a display name, and I set the scale. So here I've added a V-clay track on top of my gamma ray, so we can see the differences there. Let's say I'm not happy with those changes that I've made. I can always hit reset to default, and that resets that track, that curve back to how it was. If you really want to get back to where you were, we have a full listing of all the curves that are shown on our in our help section. But by hitting that reset to default, everything goes back to the way it was. So let's go into some of the details. So here we have our neutron density track. So let's expand that out, and you'll notice we have shading here on this track. So how do we do fill in between two curves? Well, we add a fill, and then we tell it what's on the left-hand side, what's on the right-hand side, and are we shaving in between curves, a constant and a curve, or a curve and a constant? And so here we have our gold-colored fill between our density and our neutron curves, and we have our gray fill in between our neutron and row B. We can use our color selection palette to change the colors if we want to, and as always, we can hit reset to default to get back to our default plot. We can also add a new track, so we can say add a new track, and we have the option to add an existing track. So for example, maybe we want to add a track of our gross reservoir. We can select that and say add, and now we'll see our gross reservoir track. And if we want to get rid of that track, we can simply close it. Or if you want to create a completely new track, you can say create new track. We're going to give it a name, so we'll call this my new track, and we'll say create, and now we have a blank track. We can make it whatever thickness we want, or whatever width we want. We can add a curve, like for example our we can add our final density curve. Excuse me. And we can set our scales on that. So now we have density, and we could add, for example, another curve like our resistivity final, and we'll call this res deep. We'll make it maybe a nice red color, and we'll set the scale 0.2 to 2000, and resistivity is normally shown on a log scale. And now we have a track that shows those two curves. And so now that track is available to display on other plots as well. So that's one way you can do track editing. The other way is, you'll notice as you're hovering over any of these curves, we get the settings icon that appears, and so you can click on that settings icon, and that takes you to the curve that is that you clicked on. And so that's probably a quicker way to get to where you want to be, and you can see it'll follow you around as you click on different curves. So it's a good way to help you very quickly edit those. And that's it for curve editing. I know this was a short video, but the graphical interface on this is pretty straightforward, and it gives you full control over how you would like to display your curves. Hope this video was useful, and as always, remember to save your work.